Hi everyone, my name is Kaz and today I'm going to be talking about the readathons happening in 2020. Now this is not going to be all of the readathons happening in the year because as the months go on, a whole bunch of new readathons are going to be popping up left, right and center, but this is kind of like a starting guide for the year. For that reason, I also have some links in the description below that would be very, very useful for you guys in the future if you're looking for more readathons to participate in that I might not have mentioned in this video. There's a link to my website where I have a calendar which I update as often as I possibly can. So that's probably like the go-to place with literally a list of all the readathons that we have. I've also got the Twitter account Readathon News, which I try my best to update frequently, but of all the things, that is the last thing to be updated because I have a lot on my plate. I'd also recommend taking a look at the archived readathon list because there may be some readathons that were hosted in previous years that haven't yet been confirmed or announced future dates yet. But they very well could be hosted throughout the year, so you can pop them on your radar now just so you can be aware. And towards the end of the video, I am going to really briefly list a bunch of readathons that happen annually that I think will likely happen again in 2020, and some other ones that have indicated there will be around in 2020, but no specific dates have been officially announced yet. So I will briefly talk through all of those, but you can find more information in the calendar. And if there are any readathons that I've missed today or that are going to be planned in the future, if you're a host of one of them or happen to know about any other ones, I have another link in the description below to the Readathon submission form where you can send all of the information relevant to the readathon that I need to know in order to add it to the calendar. Editing Kaz popping in for a very quick message. So as you can probably tell by the backdrop, I filmed this around Christmas time, and because of all the festivities and family stuff, it's taken me a little while to film this. And since filming the video, there have been a few more readathons that I've been made aware of or people have submitted through the form, and I didn't want these to go unmentioned, so I have highlighted all of those readathons at the top of the description below. Obviously, moving forward, any more readathons that I find out about, I'm not going to continue adding them to the description of the video. I'm just going to continue adding them to the calendar at littlebookowl.com. So just a quick message to say that. Thank you guys so much, and sorry again for taking so long to do this video. So without further ado, let's start out with the readathons that are less than 1 week long. The Off the Grid Readathon. So this is typically a 3-day readathon that happens from Friday, Saturday and Sunday a few times throughout the year. And the idea for this one is to really focus on reading and switch off all technology, no phones, no computers, no TVs, and just spend that time reading. So the dates that we have for this one so far are the 17th until the 19th of January, the 17th until the 19th of April, 17th till 19th of July, and then 16th to 18th of October. The 24 before Monday readathon is another one that happens over a weekend, and the main idea is to spend a total of 24 hours reading throughout the period of the readathon. I believe that this is hosted on the last weekend of the month. However, I would recommend double checking the dates a little closer to the time. The readathon may change a little bit depending on where the days fall, and I know that the December 2019 round was extended a little bit. I've put up on the screen here all of the dates that I expect them to happen, so like the last kind of Friday to Sunday I think it is of each month, but they've not been officially announced when I'm filming this anyway, so would recommend checking back to confirm those dates. We then have the weekend rounds for the Queer Lit Readathon. There are also week-long rounds as well, which I'll mention a little bit later on in the video. But this readathon is all about reading queer literature. Love it. So for this, we have the 28th to the 29th of February and also the 26th to the 27th of September. The Dewey's 24-hour readathon is a series of 2 separate readathons that happen every single year, once in April, once in October. There isn't a specific theme for this readathon, but they do have hourly mini challenges and things hosted on their website. It's a whole great time. This is one of the first readathons that I ever participated in and absolutely love it. They're still going strong. The first round of the year is on the 25th of April. The October date, I believe, will be announced a little bit closer to the time. Next up, we have the week-long readathons. From the 1st until the 7th of January, we have the New Yearathon, which is a readathon to help you start off your reading year with a bang. The Book Clubbing Sprint is a low-key readathon from the 1st until the 8th of January. Just a relaxed readathon. There's some reading sprints and a group book. From From the 4th until the 11th of January, we have the Smutathon, which is all about reading smutty and romance novels. The Bout of Books is a series of week-long readathons that happen a few times throughout the year. There's one from the 6th until the 12th of January, the 11th until the 17th of May, and the 17th to the 23rd of August. Again, this one doesn't have a specific theme, but there are different challenges on the days that are hosted by a range of different bloggers. From the 12th until the 18th of January, we have the Winter Readathon. This one has some reading challenges that are kind of inspired by winter and cozy times. The Yearathon is a series of week-long readathons. Each of these have a different theme. From January 13th to 19th, the idea for this readathon is to pick a colour, any colour, and read books that have covers of that colour. The February readathon from the 10th until the 16th is all about finishing that book or series. From March 9th to 15th, it's link that book. So I guess it's kind of like book association. So there's been an example given for this one. Say you read Chamber of Secrets. You take the word secrets and then read Two Can Keep a Secret, which is a YA book. So next you'll read The Hate You Give, then the main character's name is Star, so the next book you could read is The Sun Is Also a Star. So whatever kind of element you want to take from that book and then associate it or link it to another book, you can. So April 13th to 19th, this is one of the months where you've got a couple of options here. So firstly, you can read the books that you own that are rated the highest and lowest on Goodreads, and then the other option is to read books that you own. May 11th to 17th is about reading books about mental health or addiction. From June 8th to 14th, we've got another couple of options. You can decide to buddy read books, or you could read books that you've borrowed. July 13th to 19th, again, another couple of options you could choose from. Option 1 is Olympics, so reading books that have sports involved that are included in the Olympics. Option 2 is buzzwords. So you choose a specific buzzword and then read books that have that buzzword in the title. August 10 to 16, you can choose to either reread books or you could read books that are outside your comfort zone. September 14th to 20th is about finishing and catching up on series. October 12th to 18th is about reading spooky books or thrillers. November 9 to 15th is about reading books that have been recommended to you or someone else picks your TBR. And then December 14th to 20th is about reading books that have been on your TBR for the longest. The Vaultathon, so this is another series of a few readathons that are inspired by underrated Disney movies. So the specific movies for the 2020 rounds have not yet been announced, but the dates have been decided. So we have March 16th to the 22nd, June 15th to the 21st, and September 14th to the 20th. The week-long rounds of the Queer Lit Readathon will be happening from 31st of May to the 6th of June and the 29th of November until the 5th of December. Next, we have Readathon. This is an annual readathon that is held during the Indian Independence Week, and it's all about reading Indian books and books by Indian authors. So in 2020, this will be running from the 10th until the 16th of August. The next lot of readathons are going to be any time between the 1 week to 1 month mark. So from the 1st until the 15th of January, we have the Classics-a-thon, which is all about reading classics. From the 5th until the 25th of January, we have Book Quest Volume 1. So this is an RPG style readathon. You join a team, you read certain reading challenges, which enable you to level up, all that fun stuff. I love readathons like this. From the 14th until the 28th of February, we have Demonathon. The kind of theme for this, the concept is that we are summoners who are making a contract with a demon of our choice. To prove ourselves worthy, we must read to fulfill prompts and appease some other demons. For an extra challenge and a giveaway prize, finish every prompt. So there are 7 reading challenges, there's a group read, all that fun stuff. From the 25th of November until the 8th of December, we also have the Christmas Spirit Readathon, which is a part of the Greater Seasons of Reading. So they host quite a few readathons throughout the year. They do this every single year. I think most of them are month-long readathons, so I will talk about those in just a moment. Moving on to readathons that are 1 month long. From the 31st of December 2019 until the 31st of January 2020, we have the Pulp Heist Readathon. So I think the idea of this one is to kind of read pulp fiction, not the film, but like the genre of pulp, or at least read books that have an element that can be found in pulp. For the month of January, we have the Cancel-a-thon. So this is a cancel culture readathon. So I think the idea of this one is to kind of give some books an opportunity or a chance that have been subjected to cancellation. So like some of the reading challenges are to read a book you think people unfairly tried to cancel, read a book that sparked drama, read a book that's been banned, problematic classic, things like that. We also have the boy bandathon during the month of January. With this one, there are two teams, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and the reading prompts are inspired by the bands and their music, and I think that the two teams try and like battle it out by reading to get more points for your own team. Also in January, we have the Get Shit Done Readathon. This is kind of a low pressure readathon, all about getting to the books that you've been putting off for whatever reason. Also in January, we have the Happy New Clear Readathon. The goal for this one is to clear out old commitments, so things like reading books that you need to review, finishing up series, or just getting to any of those books that you said you would read but didn't get to. Also in January, we have the House Cupathon. Again, kind of like houses competing, and you gain points for your own house by reading books. And the points are actually based on the number of pages that book has. Next up, we have the Hypathon, which is a series of month-long readathons, all focused on reading books and series that have been hyped. Some months will have themes, but moving on throughout the year, there will be more information about each month announced as we go. The Pageathon, another series of readathons, month-long, happening in January, April, July, and October, and each readathon will have a seasonal theme. So there will be specific reading challenges all inspired by those themes, but the main idea for this is to read as many pages as possible to help lead your team to victory. In January, we have the Read Your Shelves Readathon. So the idea for this is to read as many owned books as you can throughout the month. There are a total of 25 reading challenges for this one, all set up in a bingo board, and you can kind of pick and choose the reading challenges as you like. The Seasons of Reading, as I mentioned, this is a series of readathons, most of which are 1 month long. In January, we have the Winter's Respite Readathon. In April, the Spring into Horror Readathon. In June, there is the Sci-Fi Summer Readathon. August is the High Summer Readathon, and October, the Fright Fall Readathon. From the 13th of January to the 13th of February, we have the Swiftathon, which, as I'm sure you can guess, is a Taylor Swift inspired readathon. For this particular round, the prompts are inspired by her most recent album, Lover. From the 15th of Jan until the 15th of February, we have the Backlist Bookathon. So this is about reading the books that have been on your shelf for a really long time. The TBR vets that you've been neglecting or just not getting around to reading for whatever reason. For the month of February, we have the To Be Continued Readathon, which is all about reading series, catching up or finishing series. In the month of May, we have the Pokemon Reading Raid. So this is a Pokemon themed readathon. There will be specific challenges and a lot more details announced a little bit closer to the date. But for this round, we'll be finally taking on Team Rocket. So stay tuned for more info on that one. In November, we have the Thankful-a-thon, and the idea for this is to read books that you are thankful for. There will be some reading challenges, more stuff to be announced as well. The last readathon I'm going to be mentioning with specific dates is the Tri-Wizard Tournament Readathon. So this does span over a month, but there's like certain parts to it with dedicated times within this period. So the main idea is you're all in teams and kind of competing to win the tournament. You have to go through 3 tasks or 3 rounds. There is also an opening ceremony on the 31st of October where we watch the Goblet of Fire, and then the Yule Ball on the 20th of December to celebrate the whole Tri-Wizard tournament. So the first task is from the 9th until the 13th of November. The second task is the 23rd to the 29th of November. And then the third task is the 7th to the 13th of December. As I mentioned at the start, there are still some readathons that have been announced loosely without specific dates or are likely to happen again in 2020. So I just wanted to really briefly mention these readathons, pop them on your radar. At some point in January, we'll have the Mermaidathon and the Weekend Warrior readathons. Don't mind me just looking at my computer screen as I do this. In February, we have the Believers Never Die-a-thon, so that's a Fall Out Boy themed readathon. February, Feminist Lit February, and FF February, or Female Romance books. There is also the Tome Topple readathon, so this is a 2-week-long readathon all about reading books over 500 pages. No exact dates yet. However, there will be one hosted in February, sometime in spring or summer, and then one in November sometime as well. More exact dates to be announced. The next round of the Alphabathon will be in February or March. Each different round of the Alphabathon focuses on a specific letter of the alphabet, and you have to try and read books or authors that start with that letter. In March sometime, the Audiobookathon, the March Mystery Madness, Middle Grade March. We should also be getting more rounds of the Magical Readathon. Typically the Owls is held in April, and then the Newts is in August, I think. And then there's often some extra bonus rounds happening as well. In June, we should have the BookTube Favothon. July, Christmas in July Readathon. This is also part of Seasons of Reading, but more details to be announced on that one. In August, there's likely to be Arc August again, all about reading arcs. Sometime in summer, we should have the Reading Rush, formerly known as BookTubeathon. In September, we could have the Audiobookathon, Band Bookathon, Latinx-a-thon, Latinx Book Bingo, Little Readers Readathon, and Tackle Your TBR Readathon. In October, we may get the BookTube Favothon, Spooktober, and Spookathon, and Victober. In November, we might see the Nonfiction November, and then December, the Very Merry Readathon. There tend to be quite a lot of Christmas-themed readathons as well, so I'm sure there'll be many, many more. Some other readathons that may happen again at some point throughout the year include the Bookie Trials, Buzzwordathon, Contemporaryathon, Yearathon, Gilmore Girls Readathon, Hocus Pocus Readathon, Hogwarts House Battles, Indian Lit Readathon, Manga Madness Readathon, Minecraft Readathon, Readarama, Sequelathon, Witchathon, and Zodiacathon. So many readathons. But that concludes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry I didn't have this video up earlier. This video always takes quite a while, and December ended up being a really hectic month for me. Lots and lots of stuff happening. So thank you for your patience. I hope you guys are excited about all of the readathons happening. Again, if there are any that I've missed, please submit the readathons using the form I have linked below. That's like the most helpful way to share them with me. I'd really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you very soon in a new video, but until then, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!